Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Todd Catlett, as Nate said, and I've had the privilege of working with TCG for a number of years. In fact, when I started working with them, they weren't even 200 agents, and now they're over 4,000. So it's been a pretty incredible journey. And I have nationwide responsibility for TCG, which is kind of cool. All of the other stuff that I do is in the Southeast United States and the other folks that I work with. But so TCG is very important to me, part of the family, and glad to be here this afternoon and want to share some of the cool things that we're doing. So, yeah, I love this, and I'm not sure why they put this in here. You see, after receiving a 25% discount, Sue paid $180. The answer to all of these questions is the cloud. Plain and simple. Over the next 5 years, over $500 billion is going to move from the SMB mid-market enterprise market into the cloud. People don't want to own, operate, and manage data centers anymore. They don't want to own and buy Dell servers and load software, manage them. They don't have the expertise. Things change very, very quickly. And so this is what I want you guys to know. You don't need to be a cloud expert. We have almost 7,000 people in the company. I have experts that do everything. And so what we want you to do is not master our portfolio, but talk about business issues with your customers and prospects. And that's the way to do it. And win fast, lose faster. That's our motto. We don't want to get sucked down the rabbit hole and spend a year chasing something. You know, if there's an opportunity, we're going to uncover it right away during our discovery process. And so customers generally need the same thing. Compute, storage, and network. I mean, that's what they all have. And let me go, sorry about that. Compute, storage, and network. And so that's the kind of layer, again, where everything is happening. And for the most part, everyone in here has been working at the network layer, right? You're delivering UCaaS solutions, contact center, network topologies, firewalls, things of that nature. And so these are all the kind of things that are happening around there. And the services that we provide on top of this, the ProServe, security, backups, monitoring, application development, operating system, database, and network. And manage hosting, co-location. We do private cloud as well as manage public cloud. And we're the #1 partner with AWS, Azure, and with Google Cloud and Alibaba. So we have very big strategic relations with those folks. They have many, many people that are employed that are directly sit in our headquarters in San Antonio at the castle, we call it, and work directly with us. We're a very important part to their ecosystem, and we bring a lot of customers. They let us move a lot of their customers over to us directly for much better support. And so, the cloud, again, the importance to IT of all organizations in every market, right? Data centers are shrinking and workloads are going to the edge. People, again, don't want to have to operate and manage data centers. And so currently these stats are from Gartner and from Forrester. 91% of people have adopted some kind of public cloud adoption strategy. 84% have a multi-cloud and 66% have a central cloud team. And this is from an analyst here at Gartner, but trying to move to the cloud yourself will take companies 2 to 3 years. And typically, they fail the first time, right out of the gate. They don't know what they're doing. They get in over their head. They don't have the expertise. And Daryl Plummer is a very distinguished analyst, and he will tell you this is reality. And so when we help people, we can get them to the cloud in 2 to 3 months. We can accelerate their opportunities in their business. Why do they need to transform? All of these reasons up here, right? They're creating new business models. The world is evolving. It's changing very, very fast, as you guys know, being involved in technology. Accelerating delivery of products and services, increase their agility, deliver better customer experience. Everyone is about that, right? They're trying to do that. Again, competition is really fierce out there. And they want to optimize economics and IT. Fortify security and address compliance. I mean, in the state of Florida, I think we had 5 now ransomware attacks in the last year. Miami Beach Police Department being the most recent. And all of these companies have had to pony up and pay. The culture and technology get in people's way, right? They have complex legacy applications they don't know what to do with. They've got ineffective or inefficient business processes. They're running their own data centers. Change management is a big issue for companies. They're operating models that don't support cloud. They've got internal resistance and a lack of expertise. And the lack of experience and expertise is a huge factor in moving to the cloud. The vision for, again, companies, 66% are pursuing transformation. But the gap gets bigger and bigger every day when they don't do it. 10% are actually truly transforming and are all in the cloud and moving forward. Centralized IT, this is a stat my CTO, and you'll have to forgive me, I just got this deck yesterday about 30 minutes before I sent it to Tom, so I hadn't even seen a lot of these slides. But centralized IT, you talk about you know, NASCAR, and my CTO loves to use this, where you got a car going around the track, right? He pulls into the pit stop, and you may have a company that does some of the things that we do, and it'd be like having one or two people jump over the wall and try and do all of the things you do. You know, we have a whole team of people that jump over and can do every aspect and every facet of the transformation for folks. So 80 to 85% of annual IT spend is currently going to maintenance. And so it doesn't allow people to evolve because they're too busy just trying to chase their own tail. They're overworked, they rely on heroics, which do not scale. It's very difficult to have a 2 or 3 man IT shop to scale up a business and have expertise across the board. You know, again, take a lot of shortcuts that lead to mistakes, and then the business unit leaders look elsewhere. You lose control, increase your risk, and you have a lot of recruiting losses. If anyone has a cybersecurity certification of any kind, they're getting pounded on LinkedIn every day, right? And so people turn over very quickly. And so if you've got Johnny, who is your guy that knows where all of your stuff is, right, and he leaves your company, it leaves you in a very bad place. And so, you know, we have this 7 full-time employee concept because that's what it takes to do every facet of moving to the cloud. 7 full-time employees because you've got your work week, you've got the first shift, second and third shift, you've got weekends, and then you have people for when they're on vacation or out sick. And so it takes a lot of experts, and then you just talk about cloud, right? What about security, applications, data, network, databases, all of these other things? All of a sudden you start to see that the cost to employ all of these people becomes exorbitant. And typically companies don't have enough, even Fortune 500 companies don't have enough staff. We're currently doing business with 90% of the Fortune 500 companies. Some of their workloads, not all of them. They have expertise in a lot of different areas, but they come to us to fill in those gaps and help them where they don't have efficiencies and expertise. And again, you look about all the people, all of a sudden you start talking about a tremendous amount of money. And so 76% of the advanced cloud users say that controlling costs is their #1 challenge. And I get this every day. People have moved to Azure. They have no idea, man. It's out of control. They can't control their costs. The sprawl is crazy because they didn't know what they were doing when they moved there, right? And it's all about input and output with the cloud providers. And it gets out of control very, very quickly. I was talking to some Fortune 500 CIO, and he had people that were spinning up instances he didn't even know because they didn't want to go through the procurement process to do things. So they had corporate credit cards. They're spinning up instances at AWS to do DevOps work, right? And all of a sudden they're getting these monstrous bills and they have no idea where it's coming from. You know, 35% of people would say their cloud bill is estimated to be waste, and I think that the number is probably a little bit higher than that because, again, they don't have good handle on what's going on. 53 to 70% of the users don't take advantage of all the discount options, and this is, again, where we help people optimize financially. How to talk to your customers. This is very important. Again, I love this slide because everyone in this room is dealing with the tip of the iceberg at the top. That's the network and the data layer and the firewalls and the UCaaS and the desktops. Where the real meat and potatoes is underneath the water here, as you see. This is where the things you're dealing with. You got a business, they got a network, you know, their internal LAN, they've got firewalls, they've got desktops, some IP phones, maybe chat, UCaaS, SD-WAN. Now coming 5G, right? That's where the vast majority of you play in that space. 80% of the business is happening below that, where they've got compute and storage needs. They've got VMware Hyper-Vs that they're running as they're trying to scale up. They've got databases, Office 365. Now they've got security at the edge and outside of the facility, depending on where they're located. They want to move to the cloud, AWS, Azure, Google, again, doesn't matter. But this is what's happening below. And so the vast majority of the IT spend is in an area where most of you are probably not dabbling. And I can tell you that our average deals are $50,000 to $75,000 a month for cloud customers. We have 125,000 plus clients right now. And we have SMB, we have mid-market, we have Fortune 500, we have the complete gambit. We have people that spend $1,500 a month. We have people that spend $2.5 million a month. We have incredibly large customers that are very committed to the things that we're doing and how we're helping them. And so this is, again, your environment that you're normally dealing with. This is all the stuff that's happening below that you can take part in and be confident that we're going to have the experts. So what I do is I kind of quarterback the team. I have thousands of experts. So you come to us with an opportunity, it's Azure, and they have SQL database needs, or they have applications that are legacy that they want to convert and get to the cloud. And then I just bring all of the right resources together. We get on the phone with the customers or Zoom. We do professional services engagement on site for people. We'll do those kind of assessments, and they're paid for, of course. We don't do free assessments, but we will tell them the things they need to do, and then we can do the things for them or allow them to do them themselves. But you know, this is the struggle everyone has. To manage the cloud spend is the biggest thing. Governance is a huge problem for everyone, and so we can supply all of the governance and compliance, very complex things. We can do all of the federal stuff, the FedRAMP, NIST 171, all of that. We can do PCI, HIPAA. We have 2 SOCs. We have a SOC in San Antonio, and we have a SOC in London. Again, 24/7. We have 370 certified security experts alone at Rackspace. Over half of the employees are sales engineers. But again, security, compliance, you see lack of expertise. These are all things that are driving business to us. And how do you find the true need? Not from the bottom up. This is the things that, you, again, are typically have been happening in your lives, right? You're selling the network, the phones, all of this, and it gets to be very price focused and competitive, as you know. We like to work from the top down. Talk to your customers about business conversations and technology and business outcomes that they're trying to achieve. That drives the conversation in a whole different direction. And then again, you talk about security compliance applications. And I have a bunch of questions in here, and we'll get the deck out to everyone, because again, we don't want you to be experts. We just want you to talk about business outcomes with people. In the big picture, this is what you want to ask your customers. What do you do? What do you want to do? And why aren't you doing that yet? Those 3 questions drive conversations around business outcomes. And then we have all of these, what do you really do? The questions that go along. Like I said, I don't need to go through these. I'll send these out to everyone. What do you really want to do? And then why aren't you doing that yet? And that, again, will drive those conversations, and you'll start to uncover a lot of opportunities that are much bigger in scale than selling network. And so, again, security and compliance, we have a list of questions for you if there's an interest in security. Yes? Can you send me? Yes, we will. I'll make sure that you have all of this, because these are important, and you start talking about these things and you've separated yourself from your competitors. But if you're not asking these questions, people are doing a business with or without you. Yeah, and again, they absolutely are. And when they are, you'll uncover these deals. And I'll share with you, I'd been in the UCaaS business for about 15 years. And in the first 3 months that I had moved over to Rackspace, my sales in the first 90 days exceeded all I had sold in 5 years. The deals are just significantly larger. And that was really kind of eye-opening to me. Things are very complex. Again, we have a lot of expertise. I get on the phone with people, they have Oracle or they have SAP. You know, again, the entry point for a lot of people is Office 365 to dip their toe into the cloud, right? Because Microsoft is forcing everyone to go to this licensing model. And if you ask those questions, and all of a sudden you start to open up opportunities you didn't see before, and you'll see that the volume in dollars is so much more significant than when you're selling network. And disaster recovery, here we've got a list of questions for you here. And this is a real big thing, IT sprawl, rogue IT, that's what I was talking about. The CIO telling me all these engineers were going and spinning up instances, and it was costing thousands of dollars, and they didn't have a grasp of what was truly happening. Their spend got out of control. And this happens very quickly for people that don't have expertise in working with, it could be AWS, Google, Azure, it doesn't matter. And so what we do, again, these top 6 customer initiatives, right? Help people define their strategy to drive their growth, accelerate their transformation, meet them where they're at and take them where they want to go. That's what we do. Powering their IT needs, modernizing data applications in their organization, and then securing everything, and then helping to optimize not only for finance, but optimize for performance as well, so that they're not spending more than they need to. You know, we have, again, we call them service blocks, the things that we can kind of layer on. And the beautiful thing about cloud is it's consumption-based like a utility, right? So they may start with a handful of things. We may do an architect and deploy and a migration for someone, and we may manage and operate an environment for 2 or 3 months for them. And then they go, okay, our guys are up to speed now, we have expertise, we're going to go ahead and do that. Then a few months later, they may come to us and say, well, we need some governance and compliance help. And so you can add and take away on a monthly basis things, which again is wonderful for customers. It allows them to really help to develop their own internal staff and teams to be able to accomplish as much as they can on their own. But you see all the different areas that we're working in. You know, again, the public cloud, you know, we have big strategic relations with all of those guys. And like I said, they have dedicated employees. VMware is one of our biggest partners as well. We have incredible security companies that we work with. Alert Logic, Cloudflare, Armor. We can deliver any kind of security for folks depending on, again, what their objectives are. And across a wide range of technologies. And you can see all the companies, again, associated with all these different layers. And so I know you run into people that are using Red Hat. You run into people using Citrix. All of these things. And so you start talking about the business outcomes that the company is trying to achieve, and those are conversations we want to be involved in. And the way things work for us is, you know, we use Salesforce. We bought the #1 Salesforce company a couple of years ago called Relations Edge. And so for us, if it's not in Salesforce, it didn't happen. We have very good hygiene around it. When you have an opportunity, you send it to TCG. William Hyatt inputs it into our Salesforce. It's automatically assigned to me immediately. I'll look at whatever notes. I may have a call with one of you to discuss some of the peripheral things that maybe people are trying to accomplish so we have a little better understanding. And then what I'll do is I'll get the right resources. It could be, again, a database expert. It could be a security expert. And we'll get the right people on the phone and we'll share screens. We'll talk about what they're trying to achieve. And then we can design a solution based on their requirements and business objectives and needs. And I can tell you we have a real high win rate because, again, we have a tremendous amount of expertise in all of these areas. And I'm blown away every day by the smart people that I work with. We're in the Gartner Magic Quadrant leader section. We've been there for a while. And I can tell you we have 3 goals as a company, you know, to be the best place to work for, provide a fanatical experience for everyone, and deliver superior financial performance. The last 2 quarters have been the best 2 quarters in company history in Rackspace's 21-year-old company. We are growing fast, and again, we're one of the best places to work for. But this is what's important. Over 3,400 cloud engineers, 1,700 AWS. And when I started last summer in June, I had to do 8 weeks of sales onboarding. I had to pass my AWS certification, Azure. I had to do all of these tests. It was relentless for 8 weeks before I got back to the field here in Florida. Again, 370 Google. And Google actually came to us to be their first MSP, and we told them no because they weren't ready. Their platform wasn't ready. We told them some of the things they needed to do. They went back to the drawing board. About 6 months later, they came back. We became their first MSP. And so we have, again, an incredible amount of talent in the company. Whatever specific area of expertise we need, I have access to all of those resources, and we'll bring them to bear to help you win business with your customers. We operate at a global scale. And so just a couple of nights ago, I was sharing with we have Channel Partners is coming up in Las Vegas, and we pulled out on Monday night, as did, let's see, Dell, Intel, Google, Microsoft, AT&T, Verizon, due to the coronavirus pandemic scare. We are not allowed to travel to certain countries, and we're not allowed to do large conferences. So we had a call Monday night at 8 o'clock, our entire team. You know, we all get this group text that we got to jump on this Zoom meeting, and we have pulled out of the Channel Partners this year because of the virus. And so anyone that's going, I know the TCG folks are going. Anyone else going? Obviously, you know, yeah, you know, I would again just be you know, concerned. So, you know, 125,000 plus customers in 120 countries. So there's really nowhere that we can't deliver except Africa, and actually we can deliver in Northern Africa now. But you know, we have Colo, we have 469,000 square feet of our own, and then we have relationships with Digital Realty Trust, Equinix, all of the usual suspects. Yes?
I think the co-location facilities are perfect for quarantine.
For yeah. So
maybe you can pick up some bucks doing that.
Yeah, maybe. And so again, what I want everyone to think about is asking questions about business outcomes, and don't get into buried about technology, because you're never going to learn our whole portfolio. I'm not going to. It's just not going to happen. It's too extensive, and that's why I got a team of experts to help me to deliver solutions for your clients and prospects. And so, thank you.
Awesome.